Yes, so the first question that I asked the students is to think deeply and tell what are you studying for. आप क्यों पढ़ाई कर रहे हैं? इस प्रश्न के उत्तर में, as answer to this question, there are a variety of answers. Most common answers are, sir, in order to earn a degree of BTech or a degree of MBA or a degree of BBA or a degree of MCA, things like that. Okay, then why do you want to earn a degree? So that we can get a job. Then I ask them, why? What is a job? Most of the students are unable to say what's a job. Similarly, some students say they are studying so that they can make a living. Some say they are studying for their satisfaction. Some say they are studying because their parents have put them to a study and they say that you study. They have no specific vision, they have no specific aim in life. Like that, you get a large number of answers. Let us see some of the reasons which could be genuine reasons for studying a professional course of study, as well as we will search out how we could summarize this into one or two main objectives. One cause could be to gain professional knowledge and competence. We are studying so that we become professionally knowledgeable and competent in our field as a doctor or as an engineer or as a manager. Another aim could be to develop intelligence and wisdom through rational thinking. We want to develop our rational thinking capabilities, therefore we are studying. To get a job or get self-employed and be effective in it. This is what most of the students answer, that they are studying to get a job or get self-employed and be effective in their employment and sustain it. To earn money and sustain a living. This is another very important reason put forward by students, कि sir, unless we study and we are professionally qualified, we cannot earn money and we cannot sustain a living. To earn fame and recognition. There are yet other students for whom fame and position is more important. To get settled in life, feel secure and comfortable. To support the family. To be independent and meet your needs and aspirations. Sir, we have aspirations to become something in life. That's why we are there studying, so that we achieve our ambition, we achieve our aspirations. To make a successful career. To become a good human being. So, the last two, to make a successful career and to become a good human being, sums up all other statements. When you make a successful career, you are happy, you are able to earn money, you are able to support your family, you are able to meet your needs independently. A career involves getting a job also, or being self-employed and being effective, and a career cannot be pursued unless you develop professional knowledge and competence. Therefore, you are studying a professional course of study primarily to make a successful career and also to become a good and capable human being. A good and a capable human being. So a good and successful career is central to all the above requirements. Even if you are a good human being, you cannot be a capable human being unless you are successful in your career. So this is to be understood, that making a good and a successful career is central to all the above factors, and we want to become good human beings and capable human beings and make a successful career for ourselves. That is why we are studying a course of professional studies. So, everyone has to get either employed, that is get a good job, or has to get self-employed, that means become a freelancer or run his own business. So the question arises, what is a job? This is where most of the students find it difficult to answer what is a job. They know what a job is, but how to define it, how to clarify it in your mind, how to conceptualize in your mind, This is very essential, because unless you know the difference between a job and a career, you will not be comfortable choosing jobs or careers. So what is a job? A job is a contract to deliver services for a compensation. You are like a person selling your services. There is a recruiter who's buying your services. Sort of, you have given your services on hire and he pays you a compensation. Till he pays the compensation, the recruiter or the organization which has hired your services, you work for that organization or for that employer. Once they stop paying the compensation, you don't work. Similarly, once they don't find your work satisfactory or they do not find that work up to the mark, they may ask you to leave. That means they do not agree to pay you the compensation and the contract ends. So it's a contract that you will deliver a certain amount of work and they'll pay you a certain amount of money or a certain amount of compensation, as the word is used, to compensate you for that work that you have given. It's a contract. ये आपसी एक संविदा है कि आप काम करेंगे और काम के बदले में आपका एम्प्लॉयर आपको एक निश्चित रकम या रकम के साथ कुछ और सुविधाएं देगा. जब तक वो सुविधा और वो पेमेंट आपको कर रहे हैं, आप काम करेंगे. जब आप काम करना बंद कर देंगे तो आपको रकम या पैसा नहीं देंगे, या अगर वो पैसा नहीं देंगे तो आप काम नहीं करेंगे. ये संविदा है, कॉन्ट्रैक्ट है. जब काम खत्म हो जाएगा तो आपका जॉब भी खत्म हो जाएगा. Then what is a career and how is a career different from a job? What is a career and how is a career different from a job? करियर क्या होता है और वो जॉब से अलग कैसे है? सोचिए, बताइए. What is a career? It is a charted work path of your occupational life or work life. So, maybe it is a succession of jobs or a variety of responsibilities, or it may be one job also. That means a career is different from a job, that the work path that you trace out by doing a job and how you grow and how you take up more responsibilities over a lifetime. So your work path over the lifetime is a career, whereas job is one contract. It's like, take the case of a film star. One film is a job for a film star. Maybe Amitabh Bachchan started in his first film, that was a job. He did a number of films and he made a career as a film actor. That is a career. A doctor starts with a job that he takes up house surgeonship. He becomes a house surgeon, a house intern, gets some 30,000 or 35,000 rupees. After experience, he becomes a junior doctor. Then he becomes a senior doctor. Then he might become a superintendent or a specialist doctor or a super specialist doctor. He might thereafter earn enough money and start his own polyclinic or his own clinic, and he becomes an independent medical practitioner. So these are number of jobs that he has done as an intern, as a junior doctor, as a senior doctor, as a superintendent, as a medical practitioner. But he made a career as a doctor. So it is a charted work path of your occupational life or work life. It can be a succession jobs, a variety of responsibilities. For pursuing a career, you have to be employable. This shows how you are progressing. So this is career. Question arises that these are simple terms, but students need to know that. What is employability? Employer hires you if you are employable. What is employability? Therefore, you must know that. It is your suitableness for a job. If you are suitable for a job and you have the capability to retain that job by delivering the desired results, then you are employable. So two things are there. One is that you are suitable for the job, you can do the job. You are qualified, you have the right competencies, you can do the job. And then the capability to retain it, to successfully keep on doing it for a length of time. If you are unable to perform regularly, you will lose that job. So the suitability and the capability to retain the job, that is what is employability. So all of you have to be employable in order to get a job, whether it's a paid job or a self-employed job as an entrepreneur. So employability is suitability of a person to get employment in the current market situation, and retainability, that is to retain the job in midst of competition and change. Situations are continuously changing, job requirements are changing. As per that, you have to retrain yourself, upgrade yourself, upskill yourself, and you have to retain that job, otherwise you may lose that job. So therefore, suitability for the job and retainability makes you employable. Thus, at all times in your career, you should have the capability to meet job requirements. Not at the beginning, not only for getting the job. If you think you have got a job, job is a contract. If you fail to perform, the job is gone. So you should have the capability to meet the job requirements on a continued basis. If the job changes, you have to change. You have to upskill, you have to upgrade yourself. Now think for a moment, what is a recruiter visiting the campus or evaluating at some other place expecting from you? What does a recruiter expect from you? Is he essentially looking for? What is he looking for in you? That is, in you means in a fresh student or in a new recruit. He is interviewing, visiting a campus or interviewing the student in his office. If I ask you to state this in 2 or 3 simple words or letters, can you do that? I don't want a big explanation because each one of you can write a page for this. But if I ask you in 2 or 3 letters or words, what is the recruiter visiting the campus or interviewing you at his office essentially looking for in you? Want to know that? Well, let's see. So it is they are looking for employability, whether you meet their expectations. In other words, they are looking for HPEs. This is the first placement mantra, that employers look for HPEs. This is a mnemonic, an acronym. What are HPEs? Can you guess? Well, let me tell you. HPE stands for high performing engineers, executives, employees or entrepreneurs even. In case of entry-level professionals, that means freshers, it is the potential for future performance that can be evaluated. So the person visiting the campus is essentially looking for high-performing executives or employees or engineers, depending on which branch of knowledge or profession are you studying in. So they are looking for high performers. Question arises, why are they looking for high performers? What is meant by high performance? High performance is results delivered. Every industry within the set time and cost framework has to produce results. If you are paid a certain amount of money as compensation or as wages, you have to deliver a certain amount of work to the organization, so the organization can pay you, compensate you for that. So if you are not able to deliver enough output, enough results, the organization loses money on you. If you are able to deliver more than what the average person delivers, the organization gains through your contribution. So they are looking for essentially high performers who can bring in more efficiency, deliver more results, and therefore help the organization to meet its own targets. The organization should receive some gain through your contribution. They'll be happy paying you the money. So high performance is results delivered. Question is, why do companies want high performers? As I said, they have their own targets to achieve. They have their own targets to achieve. Supposing a company, automobile company, hires you as an engineer or as a mechanic. They are producing, let's say, 5,000 cars a month or 60,000 cars a year. Now they want to raise this production from 60,000 to 90,000 cars a year, or maybe 7,500 to 8,000 cars a month. They will need manpower. And which kind of manpower will they need? Who can assemble, who can test, who can deliver, who can sell those cars. At every level they will be needing a manpower. So this is their own target. If they did not want to have more output, they would not have needed a new person. So they will need a new person for enhanced targets, or if a person has already left, to substitute for that employee, they will need another person. So in any case, they have to meet their own targets. This is the pressure on them to achieve. In order to do that, they need high performers, and only the high performers can contribute towards achieving the results, giving them these results, achieving these results. Example of a relay race team or a football team. That means, take a relay race team, there is a teamwork involved. One person runs, hands over the baton to another person, the other person runs, and at the end of a 4 into 400 meter relay, if all the 4 runners have been high performers, the end result will be a victory. If they have been low performers, the end result will be a loss, a failure. So companies have to win. They have to produce products at reasonable cost, get money from the market and pay salaries, meet their expenses, and earn a surplus, which is their profit. So therefore companies have their own targets to achieve, and they have to hire high performers who can contribute in achieving those targets. Question is, companies need high performance. Where does high performance come from? If you could understand this, you would always be able to tell whether this job suits you or you suit that job or not. This is very essential to know before you apply for a job, or if you are successfully selected for the job. You must know, where does high performance come from? Can anybody of you tell this? Yeah, let me tell you then. How do we know person A has the potential to perform better than person B? In a job, who will perform better? If I come to your campus to recruit, let's say, 5 students, and there are 100 students available for evaluation, all smartly dressed up, all having the same degree, all having better than 65% or 60% marks, first class marks, how do I tell which 5 or 6 or 8 students would do my job the best possible manner? How do I evaluate? How do I find out? That is my dilemma as a recruiting person, right? So let us see what a recruiter wants. Performances come out of competencies. This is something very important. Competencies, if you say it in Hindi, क्षमताएं या विशिष्ट क्षमताएं. Competence is yogyata. Competence is yogyata and competencies are विशिष्ट क्षमताएं. Are you suitable for a job? How do I judge this as an employer? I break down the job into certain set of competencies. In order to do this job, a person needs to have at least a graduate degree in engineering, needs to have the capacity to read drawings, needs to have the capacity to work on design software called AutoCAD, needs to have the ability to communicate with fellows, needs to have the ability to write down instructions in a process planning sheet. Like that, I break down the job into competencies and then I assess from the available students whether they meet the eligibility requirement, whether they know AutoCAD, whether they can read engineering drawings, whether they can write a process plan into different steps, and the ones who do it best are the ones who have the right set of competencies. So, performances come out of competencies. What are competencies? As I said, competencies are special abilities, small special abilities. Those special small abilities, it could be knowledge, it could be a skill, an attitude, or any special dexterity or quality or attribute that can be leveraged to perform a job more proficiently and effectively. Your knowledge is a competency. If you know something about the job or the work performance, your skill that you can operate a machine, you can program a machine, you can read a drawing, you can run an AutoCAD program, or your attitude towards work, or your communication skill, or your ability to sketch and draw or design. Any of these things, depending upon what is the nature of the job, this is a possible contribution to doing the job better. So anything, any ability, it could be knowledge, it could be skill, it could be attitude, it could be any other special ability, a communication skill, a machine operation skill, any of these things which can be leveraged to perform a job more proficiently and effectively. So people have different competencies and jobs also demand different competencies. It is these essential competencies that add up to build your overall competence to perform in a job role. Thus, those who possess the right mix of competencies for a job perform better in the job. This is a very important statement. Hear it again very carefully. I'll explain it over the next few slides. These essential competencies add up to build your overall competence. Let us go to the next slide and see how we could understand this better. Take, for example, I'm taking the example of white light. Most of you sitting here are engineering students or science students. Even if you are not, you know from common knowledge that white light does not consist of one color of light. There are 7 different colors of light which are indicated by VQMS: violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange and red. Together they give the impression of white light. So, does it consist of one color of light? No. It consists of several colors of light. To be very precise, 7 different colors. 7 colors combine to produce the whiteness effect. As I said, colors signified by the acronym VQMS: violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange and red. When these colors combine, you have the effect of white light, and the best vision that you can get of any object is in white light. In red light or in yellow light, the vision will not be so clear as it is in white light. So, White light is like the overall competence. Competence means योग्यता. You are competent to do a job. आप योग्य हैं इस काम को करने के लिए. You can do this job well. और क्यों आप योग्य हैं? क्योंकि उस 7 कलर ऑफ लाइट की तरह आपकी टेक्निकल ड्राइंग पढ़ने की एबिलिटी अच्छी है, आपकी मशीन ऑपरेट करने की एबिलिटी अच्छी है, आप ऑटोकैड में मशीन को प्रोग्राम कर सकते हैं, आप सही इंस्ट्रक्शंस दे सकते हैं, आप सही मेजरमेंट कर सकते हैं. So you can read a drawing, you can program the machine, you can develop a program, you can check the components. Because you have these abilities, you can produce the right component or the right part. So do you have the ability to produce the right part as a mechanic or to check the part? Yes, if you can do these things. Read the drawing. So just as white light consists of 7 different colors, the competence to do a job does not depend only on one ability, that I have the knowledge. You have the knowledge, but if you cannot operate the machine, if you cannot run the software program, if you cannot communicate, if you cannot read an engineering drawing, you may be having a lot of knowledge. You will not be able to do that job. So you require a number of small abilities. Combined together, they develop your overall ability, which is your competence. And these different wavelengths are competencies. This is white light. And as you see, white light, when you pass it through the prism, breaks down into 7 different lights. If you throw 7 different lights, they combine to form the white light or the sunlight, right? In this, you get the best vision. This is your competence. It consists of these small different segments. So, aapki yogyata, your capability or competence to do a job is a mixture of several abilities. Competencies are the consequences of our resource development. Each one of us has some resource. We have intelligence, we have energy, we have the 5 senses or skills. When we develop these, when we use our intelligence, we gain knowledge. When we use our body mechanism, our hands, our legs, our brain, we develop skills of running a machine, running a car, operating a CAD software, operating or writing a program. All these are skills. Unless I have the required intelligence, unless I require the required knowledge of English or language or a computer language, I will not be able to write a program. Right? So competencies are the consequences of our resource development.